Hello, my name is Michael Tessie, and I will be discussing online gaming and gaming addiction. Quick overview, we'll talk about what is addiction and how does it relate to gaming addictions. We'll take a look back and where I really feel all this began and the factors that are used to define if someone is addicted to gaming. We'll take a look at a study from Seoul, South Korea, and try to determine, is gaming addiction a global issue? We'll take a look at gaming and its effects on policies within the workplace, and we'll wrap it up with a quick conclusion and a couple questions. So what is an addiction? Addiction is a constant rewards and reinforcement policy that's in a game or in someone's life. It's the use of a substance or immersing themselves in an environment that provides some type of reinforcement or reward. There really are 6 core components to classify someone as being addicted, and that's solacence, mood modification, tolerance, withdrawal, conflict, and relapse. And we'll dive into those a little more here. Solacence is when something becomes the most important thing in someone's life. How many times have you heard or even used the term, I can't live without this? This is that addiction. It's that driving force in that person's life, which results in a mood modification. It's the experience that the person or people report as a consequence of engaging in that activity, whether that's the use of a substance or immersing themselves in an environment. It modifies the mood of the individual. It fills a hole or a void in that person and really doesn't necessarily take over their psyche. It modifies their psyche, where that addiction is the driving factor for that mood modification. Tolerance, the amount of something that is needed to achieve that mood modification effect, whether that's a high or a sense of needing or being needed by the environment that they're in. And as you immerse yourself in that over a longer period of time, your tolerance level to get that feeling is increased. Therefore, you need to invest more time, or you need to use more of that substance to achieve that modified state. The withdrawal is the unpleasant feeling or the physical effect of something that is reduced or discontinued of use, and the subsequent longing for that feeling again. And then the conflict, the interpersonal conflicts that arise, whether those are personal between friends, family, co-workers, etc. It's those interpersonal society interactions that really start to appear as being problematic, or they're very conflicting with the individual's wants and needs. Conflicts with other activities outside of that substance or that environment. That's where, showing up late for work, or even showing up at all for work, becomes a problem. Getting out of bed in the morning because you're gaming too long at night, or you're using a substance too late into the evening. It really prevents you from engaging in other activities. And then you get your psychotic aspects of it. It's that loss of control, or if it's taken away, it basically, that individual just spirals out of control and they have a loss of control of their life, and it conflicts with their ability to perform or function in society today. And then finally, relapse. That's that repeated pattern that reoccurs if someone were to start utilizing that substance again or immerse themselves in the environment again. So when you talk about gaming addiction, there's a lot of terms that are thrown around out there in the community, and the 4 that I found utilized a lot were pathological gaming, video game addiction, video game dependence, and problematic gaming. Yes, they're all different terms, but really it stems back to gaming addiction. And is there a difference between online and offline gaming? Believe it or not, yes, there is, and we'll relate to this a little more later, but it seems that addicts of gaming are more addicted to online gaming than offline gaming, and the difference obviously being, in an online game you're competing directly with other individuals, or you're working with a group of individuals to achieve some goal. Offline gaming, you're just competing with yourself. There's a challenge, you complete the challenge, you move ahead. I'm not saying that offline gaming could not be an addiction, because there is evidence that it could be, but typically those that have systemic problems with gaming are engaged in online gaming environments. And again, as we've learned throughout this course, computers are in every aspect of our lives today. They allow us the ability to communicate with others virtually anytime, anywhere on the planet. They're utilized in performance of work. We use them every day. I personally sit in front of the terminal all day long. I have a smartphone that's my own smartphone. I have a corporate smartphone, and it's constantly ringing and going off. I am constantly engaged in some way, work or fashion or form at work by using a computer. We utilize them for education. This course is a perfect example of that. Without a computer, we wouldn't be able to take this course in an online fashion. We use them for entertainment. Again, smartphones, tablets, computers, laptops, just about any computer device out there today has some form of entertainment option that can be utilized. And then finally, research, and not just research for papers or presentations such as this, but if you look at like research and development capabilities and engineering capabilities, computers allow us to push the limits through research of what we can actually achieve through the use of technology today. So gaming addiction really boils down to that work for reward, and it allows you to immerse yourself in that environment to refine or hone your skills. And as you do that, you're investing time, and with that time investment, there will be a reward at the end. You get that sense of accomplishment, completion of a task or a goal, therefore you receive the reward, and it doesn't end there. Computer gaming developers are very, very good at this schema, if you will, where once you complete a task, the game is not over. There are follow-on or subsequent tasks that can be completed or achievements that you can complete later on, and they typically will put these out in expansion packs or different versions of the game, so the game never stops. It's a never-ending process of investment of time, an achievement, and then a new set of achievements that require a further investment of time. So where did this all begin? And in my opinion, it goes back to Ultima Online, which was the true first fantasy role-playing game set in the Ultima universe. And you can think of that as the environment that you immerse yourself in. And really this game was known for its extensive player versus player, or PvP, combat system, where for the first time in an online environment, you were actually playing against other individuals head-to-head. It was a great game. I really enjoyed playing it. That was quickly followed in 1999 on March 6th when EverQuest was released. And that was a 3D fantasy-themed, massively multiplayer online role-playing game, or MMORPG. This truly was the first game that allowed an individual to immerse themselves in a virtual world and compete against and team with other players to achieve some set of goals or achievements. And then we come to the Super Bowl of all MMORPGs out there, the World of Warcraft, or WoW, that was released in 2004 by Blizzard Entertainment. And as of today, I actually checked this right before I started videoing this presentation, there are 14.5 million subscribers to that game. Blizzard Entertainment is very good at releasing gameplay at regular intervals in expansion packs that immerse the user in new content throughout the gameplay, and it keeps them engaged and moving forward in the gameplay instead of stagnating in one particular area or one particular level. Blizzard Entertainment probably has cornered the market on that, time investment, gain an achievement, and an award for gaining that achievement concept. So when you start applying the psychological components to addiction to gaming, the solacents, and this all stems from Dr. Griffiths and his 6 categories again, and he does a great job here at really defining gaming addiction and applying it psychologically. And I really paraphrase this a lot, but solacents is where gaming dominates the thoughts and feelings of the individuals who are playing the game. Thus, the mood modification is that when gaming is used as a coping strategy, typically there's something missing in that individual's life, and gaming allows them to fill that void or that hole, which modifies their psyche or behavior. They're now complete. Tolerance, there's a need to play that game longer, and if you go to the time investment to the achievement reward concept, the more time you put in, the better you hone your skills and your ability within the game, the quicker you can make those achievements and progress on to follow-on gaming content. But as you do that, the tolerance of that goes up. To achieve that modified state, you have to play longer. The withdrawal, that again, the unpleasant feeling or that physical change when you're not playing the game, it's, your mind starts to wander and you start thinking about, wow, we were online playing last night. If I'd have done this different, we may have been able to make it through that achievement. That withdrawal of not playing the game or not being immersed in that environment starts taking over. And obviously the conflicts that stem from that, again, whether that's the personal, interpersonal, or the psyche, the conflicts that come up when one's life when they're not playing the game or playing the game. And then finally, relapse. It's for those of us that were able to get away from the game for a while and kind of fell back into those old gaming habits where you go through the systemic process again. So global issues. We start looking at, is online gaming really have a global impact? I would say to some extent, yes, but it's not as prevalent as I thought it was going to be. As I did my research, I found a study conducted in 2011 in Seoul, Korea of 1,332 individuals. And in order to be classified as addicted, the respondents had to strongly agree to one of the four salience categories, and strongly agree with one of the withdrawal or conflict categories. And the results of the study actually showed that only 2.7% of those individuals classified would be classified as addicted. Furthermore, out of those classified as addicted, they participated in more than one video game title. And I found this interesting because I considered being addicted to a video game would be one game. For this example, StarCraft. Seoul, Korea has a huge tournament scene for StarCraft. The bottom graphic there is actually a StarCraft tournament where they had over 1,500 individuals sign up to compete in this tournament. They found that those addicted to video gaming typically played up to 4 titles of any given game, which I found very, very fascinating. Countries are now enacting laws on how much time can be spent on internet gaming, and China in particular is the first one to enact these laws. They're really trying to control how much time you spend online gaming. And Holland and China actually now have addicted clinics to gaming addiction. I thought that was pretty fascinating. So, is online gaming an addiction? I would say maybe. It depends on how much time and what categories you fall into. It's like anything else. Being addicted to caffeine from, sodas or coffee or tea, that's an addiction. Being addicted to nicotine from chewing tobacco to cigarettes, it can be addictive. I think gaming can be addictive, but if done in moderation, I think it can be controlled much easier. Are MMORPGs the most addictive form of gaming? I don't think so. And especially when you compare it to RPGs, which is role-playing games and first-person shooters, those that are classified as being addictive typically will play other game titles that fall into those other two categories. And of those who participated, they actually commented that they do believe that, online gaming is a problem in society today. But is that statement correct? With only 2.7% of those being classified as addicted, is it that big of a problem in society today? Workplace policy changes. WebSense conducted a study, and they found that only 10% of the companies reported that gaming was hampering workplace performance and considered as problematic. There were other activities that actually provided a higher effect on productivity other than online gaming, most of those being dysfunctional uses of technology or dysfunctional behavior types. Typically, that was email misuse, non-work related uses of technology, and slacking. And slacking is online shopping, YouTube usage, or checking stock quotes. They found that more hampering the productivity of their companies. And gaming in the workplace appears not to be as problematic as I originally had thought. So in conclusion, what is an addiction, and really how does gaming addiction fall into that criterion? We discussed the factors that are used to define someone as being addicted. As with any other types of addictions, the numbers may be small, but however, there still is a problem. Even if it is only 2.7%, those people have a problem and they need help to cope with their problem. I think gaming is okay as long as it's part of someone's life, and it should be done so in moderation, not to take it to excess. So the questions that I pose to you are, what are the factors that Griffiths utilizes to quantify a gaming addiction? And more importantly, do you see someone in your personal life that has signs of being addicted to gaming? And if so, how would you approach the subject with them? And that's really all I have. I want to thank you for watching my presentation. I look forward to your responses, and I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you.